Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really plunging into the escalating anti-immigrant unrest that's been gripping Northern Ireland recently.
It's a deeply concerning situation.
Absolutely. It seems to have ignited from a flashpoint incident in Ballymena on June 9th, an alleged sexual assault involving two Romanian-speaking teenagers. But this sparked protests that just spiraled, didn't they, into quite widespread violence.
That's right. It spread very quickly to other towns, Portadown, Larne, Newtown Abbey.
Yeah.
It wasn't contained.
And the scale. We're hearing over 80 police officers injured, dozens arrested. It's significant.
It really is.
So we've got our expert guide with us today to help us sort of unpack this complex picture.
Happy to be here. It's certainly a situation that reveals multiple kind of intertwined layers of societal tension. It goes far beyond that initial incident.
Okay, so let's start there. Ballymena. Two 14-year-old boys charged with attempted rape. How did that specific event become the catalyst for, well, for masked rioters attacking police, burning buildings and cars, and crucially targeting immigrant communities?
Well, look, the report suggests that while the incident was the immediate trigger, it really acted like a match on dry tinder.
Hmm.
You've got areas already under strain.
Strain like economic hardship.
Exactly. Economic hardship, social fragmentation, creating sort of isolated communities, and unfortunately a rise in xenophobia that found a sudden tragic outlet. It's almost like the conditions for this were already simmering beneath the surface.
Mm.
And then there was this detail, about a Romanian interpreter being used in court for the accused boys. That fact was twisted, fueling completely unfounded claims about their nationality and just pouring petrol on the anti-immigrant fire.
Right. And the police language has been really strong. Chief Constable John Butcher calling it racist thuggery.
Yes, and warning it's undermining the justice process itself, which is a serious charge.
And that detail about residents marking their homes by nationality, hoping to avoid attack, that's just chilling.
It really is, and it brings up the role of information, or rather misinformation, doesn't it?
Social media, I assume.
Absolutely. Social media played a huge and often damaging role here. It spread misinformation incredibly fast, often, getting ahead of official statements, distorting what was actually happening on the ground. It created a real breeding ground for fear and hostility.
It's impossible, really, to talk about unrest in Northern Ireland without thinking about the past, about the Troubles. When you see this kind of rapid spread, the targeting, does it echo that past sectarian violence, or is this something fundamentally new?
That's a key question. Look,
Yeah.
while the main driver now seems to be anti-immigrant sentiment, the way it spread, the methods used,
Right.
well, they absolutely echo aspects of past sectarian violence.
Right.
And the dangerous involvement of, remnants of paramilitary groups adds another complex layer, certainly reminiscent of earlier unrest.
But is it just history repeating?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting and perhaps quite concerning. There's been a critical shift. Statistics now show that race-related incidents actually outnumber traditional sectarian crimes in Northern Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah. That signals a broader societal issue at play, one that goes beyond those historical divides. It's not just the old fault lines anymore. New ones are clearly emerging or becoming more prominent.
That's quite profound. A massive shift. What does that mean for, how peace is maintained or built there? And flowing from that, what are political leaders, community leaders doing right now? Not just about the riots, but this deeper change.
It's a huge challenge. Politically, there's been widespread condemnation. First Minister Michelle O'Neill called it pure racism.
Okay.
And Deputy First Minister Emma Little-Pengelly described it as unacceptable thuggery. So strong words from the top.
And on the ground.
Community groups are definitely active, working hard to support the families affected, providing immediate help, trying to de-escalate things. There's a strong call for a more joined-up approach to fostering social unity.
I heard about an independent commission on community and cohesion being discussed. Is that part of the response? Aiming for dialogue?
Yes, that's definitely part of the conversation. It's seen as potentially a crucial piece. But ultimately, everyone recognizes it needs a multifaceted approach to get at the root causes. This isn't just about policing the riots.
So what does that look like?
Well, it means serious economic investment in those deprived areas to tackle the underlying hardship. It means robust education programs to fight misinformation and build understanding,
Right.
plus specific initiatives designed to promote community cohesion from the ground up. And critically, holding people accountable, those who incite violence, and fundamentally rebuilding trust between communities and law enforcement. It's a long road, no doubt, but those steps are vital.
That analysis really helps connect the dots. Thank you. It's clear from this deep dive how one awful event can just rip back the covers on layers of tension, history, and the urgent need for a really complex response. And as you reflect on this, maybe consider this. In a world where misinformation travels so fast and old tensions can easily resurface, what's your part? What's our part in fostering understanding and building trust right where we live, in our own communities? We hope you continue to explore complex topics with us. Until next time.